Right, so the NFL is literally a contact sport where guys hit each other for a living, which means sometimes that anger just boils over and these dudes straight up lose it. We're talking full brawls, helmet swings, sucker punches to teammates, all that insane stuff. And I'm about to show you the 25 absolute craziest moments when professional football players just completely snapped. Let's go. Number 25. Alright, so back in 2016, Odell Beckham Jr. was having one of those games where nothing's going right, and honestly, the way he handled it was maybe the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So, OBJ is out there, he's frustrated, and he decides to swing his helmet at a kicking net, like straight up winds up and takes a shot at an inanimate object. But here's where it gets stupid. The net basically hits him back. The thing moves with the swing and just bonks him right in the face. And dude, the entire internet made fun of him for it. Like, you're Odell Beckham Jr., one of the best receivers in the world, and you lost a fight with a net. That's not crazy in a tough way, that's crazy in a, what the hell was that way? Number 24. Now, OBJ fighting random objects is one thing, but number 24 is when guys actually go at it for real. Back in 2014, Steve Smith Sr. and Malcolm Jenkins got into it after a catch, and it turned into a full wrestling match on the field. But here's the thing, Smith was 35 years old at this point. Like, the man had been in the league forever, and he's still out here grappling with defenders like he's still 25. After the whole thing, Smith literally said, "I'm a 35-year-old man and I'm still a bully." And honestly, that's the most Steve Smith thing ever. The dude's commitment to being tough never wavered, man. Number 23. But even that isn't as crazy as what Joey Porter and William Green were about to do in 2004. So these two didn't even wait until the game started. They went at it during warm-ups, before the opening kickoff. Like the game hadn't even happened yet, and these dudes are throwing hands. It was so bad that both of them got ejected before the game even started. Porter got fined 10 grand, Green got hit with 5,000. You gotta be a special kind of stupid to get tossed from a game that hasn't started yet. Number 22. Alright, now Mike Evans, he's had some moments on the field, and number 22 is proof of that. So Evans plays for Tampa Bay, and he's had two separate incidents with Marshawn Lattimore, one in 2017 and then again in 2022. Both times, Evans blindsided Lattimore trying to protect his quarterback. Like, the man was just trying to be a good teammate and stand up for his QB, but the way he did it both times got him suspended for a game each. Evans is a big dude, strong receiver, but twice doing the same thing? Man, learn from the first one. Number 21. Alright cuz, the Ice Bowl happened in 1967 between the Cowboys and Packers, and it was brutally cold. We're talking negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, it's so cold your breath is turning into icicles before it leaves your mouth. And in conditions like that, everybody's emotions are running high, everybody's freezing, and it turned into just dozens and dozens of punches getting thrown in the trenches. Guys were fighting just to stay warm probably, but either way, it was an all-out brawl in one of the most famous games ever. Number 20. But that still ain't crazier than AJ Green going absolutely bonkers in 2017. See, AJ Green was known as one of the most mild-mannered guys in the league. Super professional, barely any trouble. But then he got into it with Jalen Ramsey, and something just snapped in him. Green threw an MMA chokehold on Ramsey and slammed him down to the ground. Like, this is not the AJ Green everybody knew. The Bengals' best receiver just unleashed full UFC mode on the field. He got hit with a $42,000 fine for it, but honestly, the way he just completely changed his personality for a second was wild. Number 19. Now, number 19 is one of the most blatant things to ever happen on an NFL field, and I'm talking about Talib in 2016. So Talib was playing corner for Denver, and he literally snatched a gold chain off of Michael Crabtree's neck during a game. Like, the ref saw it happen, Talib got suspended for one game, and everybody thought that was the end of it. But then, and this is the crazy part, Talib did it again the next season against Crabtree. He literally committed the same crime twice. They suspended him again for 2 games that time. Who does that? Who gets caught doing something and then does it again to the same guy? That's not toughness, that's just stupidity with a flair. Number 18. But even though Talib's out here taking chains, number 18 is when a guy took down his own teammate, Ken Lucas and Steve Smith Sr. got into it during a training camp practice, and Smith, the same guy we saw earlier that was talking about being a bully at 35, decided to throw a sucker punch at his own guy. Lucas was his teammate, and Smith landed a heavy shot that broke Lucas's nose and fractured his orbital bone. Like, you don't do that to the people on your own team. That's just team chemistry destruction right there. Number 17. Now, the 1987 replacement player era brought some insane stuff to the field. So there was a strike going on, union guys were mad, and the league brought in replacement players to fill the rosters. Well, the union picketers and the replacement guys got into it, and fans were throwing stuff. Eggs and rocks were coming down on the field. It was complete chaos because nobody wanted to be there. Everybody was angry, and the whole situation was just volatile from start to finish. It was more like a riot than a football game. Number 16. All right, cuz. Marcus Peters decided he wanted to do something that probably should get you arrested, and that was back in 2017. So during a game, Peters got mad and literally went into the stands to confront a fan. Like, you can't just walk into the crowd and start squaring up with somebody. That's not football anymore. That's assault in front of 10,000 people. The man had to be restrained, and honestly, the fact that he thought that was acceptable is mind-blowing. Number 15. But even that isn't as crazy as the original feud between Jim Brown and Sam Huff back in the 1950s and 60s. These two had beef that lasted years, and they were constantly going at it. Back then, face mask pulls and late hits were actually legal, so these dudes could hit each other with stuff that would get you banned today. Jim Brown was one of the greatest athletes to ever play football, and Sam Huff was a legendary linebacker, and whenever they lined up against each other, you knew something was about to happen. It was the original NFL rivalry gone wrong. Number 14. Now I gotta tell you about BountyGate, because this is where it stopped being just guys losing their temper and started being an actual organized conspiracy. So in 2009, the Saints were playing the Vikings in the NFC Championship, and the Saints defensive coordinator Greg Williams set up a pay-to-injure scheme. Like, literally paying guys to go out and hurt Brett Favre and the Vikings. The hits on Favre were absolutely relentless. Intentional shots meant to end his season. Sean Payton, the head coach, got suspended for a whole year and fined $500,000. This wasn't just a fight, this was premeditated assault disguised as football. Number 13. Alright, now Charles Martin did something that set a precedent for the entire league. Back in 1986, he literally had a hit list written on his towel. Can you imagine that? This dude came to work with a list of guys he was planning to hurt. And that day, Jim McMahon was on that list. So Martin picked up McMahon and body slammed him. And it was so bad it ended McMahon's whole season. This was the first ever multi-game suspension in NFL history, 2 games, because the league realized this couldn't happen anymore. One guy's premeditation literally changed how the NFL handles suspensions forever. Number 12. But that still ain't crazier than Andre Johnson straight up losing it in 2010. So Johnson's one of the best receivers to ever play, super talented, and Cortland Finnegan was jamming him up at the line, getting in his face, doing all the chippy corner stuff. But Finnegan went too far and jammed Johnson's neck hard, and something just broke in Andre. Both guys ripped their helmets off and Johnson started landing heavy rights on Finnegan's face. Like, this wasn't just a shoving match, this was a legitimate fist fight on national television. They both got hit with $25,000 fines, but the image of Andre Johnson unleashing like that stayed with everybody. Number 11. Now, Bill Romanowski was always known as a dirty player, but what he did in 2003 practice was next level. So he ripped off Marcus Williams' helmet and straight up punched him in the eye. And this wasn't just a punch, this was a life-changing moment. Williams' eye socket was shattered. His career was over. He had to sue Romanowski and ended up getting $340,000 in a settlement. But honestly, no amount of money gives you your career back. Romanowski ended that man's livelihood with 1 punch during a practice. Number 10. But even that isn't as crazy as the 1990 Monday Night Brawl between the Dolphins and Oilers. This went full bench clearing for nearly 10 minutes straight. Like, the refs lost control of the game completely and just let these dudes go at it. Coaches were on the field, players were throwing haymakers, it was bedlam. This wasn't a couple of guys squaring up. This was an entire team versus an entire team situation. It lasted so long that even the broadcasters didn't know what was happening anymore. Number 9. Now alright, we're getting into the top 10. Let's take things to a whole new level, because these next ones changed the league forever, or were just so brutal that they're seared into everybody's memory. Buddy Ryan's body bag game in 1990 was absolutely insane. So the Eagles and Redskins were playing, and before the game, Ryan straight up said they'd need body bags for the Redskins. And honestly, he wasn't joking. The Eagles came out and just blasted the Redskins all game. By the time it was over, 9 Redskins were injured. 9 guys. This wasn't just aggressive football. This was intentional targeting designed to hurt people. Ryan basically told everybody what he was about to do, and then did it. Number 8. But even though Buddy Ryan was targeting whole teams, number 8 is Josh Norman and Odell Beckham Jr. going absolutely bonkers in 2015. So Norman was playing corner and OBJ just lost it. We already saw OBJ fight a net, but this time he swung his helmet at Norman's head like 15 yards away from the actual play. Like the ball wasn't even close to them, and he's trying to spear this guy. Norman didn't back down either. It was a full situation. OBJ got suspended for a game for that one, and honestly, the whole thing was just unprofessional from start to finish. Number 7. Now, Jack Tatum is probably the most controversial player in NFL history because of what he did in 1978. So Tatum hit Darryl Stingley, and it was a legal hit at the time, but it paralyzed Stingley permanently. Like, this man went from being a promising receiver to being unable to move his legs for the rest of his life. And here's the crazy part. Tatum never apologized. Not once. He said Stingley shouldn't have been there or something equally ridiculous. The hit itself wasn't a fight, but the aftermath, the lack of remorse, and the fact that Stingley's life was destroyed made it one of the most controversial moments in league history. Number 6. Alright, cuz. So Joey Porter was a crazy linebacker who played in the trenches his whole career. But what he did in 2015 playoff game was mind-blowing. So Porter's now a coach for the Broncos, and during a playoff game against the Bengals, he literally walked onto the field to start trash-talking with Bengals coaches. Like, you're a coach. You can't do that. He got Bengals players all riled up, the whole sideline melted down, and the Bengals ended up losing a game they absolutely should have won. One coach's stupidity on the sideline may have cost Cincinnati their chance at the Super Bowl. Number 5. Now number 5 is one that had everybody in the stands just stunned. Back in 1994, Buddy Ryan, yeah, the same guy from the body bag game, literally punched his own offensive coordinator on the sideline during a game. Kevin Gilbride was his OC, and they got into an argument on the sideline. Instead of walking away like a professional, Ryan threw a punch on national television. It was insane. You're the head coach of an NFL team and you're throwing hands with your own staff. That's the kind of thing that should get you fired immediately, but somehow Ryan kept coaching. Number 4. But even Buddy Ryan punching his own coordinator isn't as bad as what George Atkinson did in 1976. So Atkinson, a safety for the Raiders, was so frustrated with Lynn Swann that he literally clubbed him in the back of the head when Swann wasn't even looking at him. Just a vicious shot to the back of the head. It was so dirty that Chuck Noll, the legendary Steelers coach, actually called the Raiders the criminal element of the NFL. That quote led to a defamation lawsuit, but it shows you how serious people took that hit. You don't play the back of somebody's head. That's not football. Number 3. All right, now we're down to the last 3, and number 3 is something that honestly should have ended somebody's career. Albert Haynesworth in 2006 had an opponent's helmet fall off, and instead of playing football, Haynesworth stomped on the man's bare face with his cleats. Full force. Seth Garrode had 30 stitches after that. 30. This wasn't a punch. This wasn't even a tackle. This was torture. The man was defenseless, and Haynesworth stomped on his face like he was trying to cave his skull in. 5-game suspension, but honestly, that should have been a permanent ban. Number 2. But even that brutality isn't quite as insane as number 2. Myles Garrett, 2019, he ripped Mason Rudolph's helmet clean off, and then, this is the part that makes it different, he swung that helmet like a mace, like an actual weapon. This wasn't him losing control for a second, this was a calculated swing with a helmet. Joe Buck, the legendary broadcaster, straight up said, "That's one of the worst things I've ever seen on a professional sports field." And when Joe Buck says something's too much, you know it's bad. The league suspended Garrett indefinitely, which basically meant he was out for the rest of the season. It took months before he was allowed back. That one moment changed how people saw Myles Garrett forever. Number 1. And number 1, the absolute craziest fight in NFL history has to be Myles Garrett because honestly, there's nothing crazier than a dude swinging a helmet like he's about to take somebody's head clean off. We've had guys punch, we've had guys tackle, we've had organized conspiracies, we've had coaches punching coaches, but nothing compares to that moment when Garrett just fully committed to using a piece of equipment as a weapon. It's the moment that made everybody in the stadium go silent because they couldn't believe what they just saw. It was pure chaos, pure rage, just unfiltered aggression that crossed every line. Alright, so that's the 25 craziest fights in NFL history, and honestly, some of these moments should have gotten people arrested. The league has come a long way in how it handles this stuff, and thankfully, we don't see as much of the outright violence as we used to. But when you put a bunch of huge, athletic, competitive dudes in a sport where they're literally supposed to be physical, sometimes things just explode. Let me know in the comments which one shocked you the most, and if you think there's a fight that should have made this list, drop it below. And hey, hit that subscribe button because we got a ton more crazy NFL content coming your way.